Just let me know when you're out. There we go. You don't even have to say anything. All right, great. So let's get on the record. This is docket 6680 UR123, the application of Wisconsin Power and Light Company for authority to adjust electric and natural gas rates. This reopener of the underlying docket is related just to natural gas rates. My name is Michael Newmark, Administrative Law Judge for the PSC, and we have the applicant, intervener, and commission staff connected. And I'm going to reconnect someone here. Okay. And we are taking public comments and party and commission staff evidence today. Usually start off with the public comments, at least provide an opportunity at the beginning. I do not see any members of the public in attendance, so we'll switch over to the party and staff part of the proceeding. I do want to mention that we'll continue to take written comments up until Friday, September 23rd. And that's through the commission's website or by US mail. We can go off the record and just discuss some of those underlying documents for the case. So we'll go off the record now. So service list, any, just display that on the screen. Any corrections we need to make? So I don't see Zach Ramirez on this list. I thought I added you into that earlier. Is that so? For appearance sake, we're going to want to have Attorney Ramirez on the list, and so we'll add Attorney Ramirez to the service list. Any other people we're missing here? So I think we can do away with that. And I'm just going to stop the screen share for a moment here so that we can see everyone connected. Okay, fine. So let's move on to the offered evidence list. So a typical process, we can just take this off the record. Any corrections to the list? Am I missing some of the filing, or do I have a filing misidentified? No, everyone's quiet about that. All right, and then just to follow up with comments that I've sent with the list, any questions about that? So
You're on.
Yeah, go ahead. Thought there may be a clarification.
Just wanted to check that staff will be submitting an exhibit with data request responses. Let me.
Yeah, I think we can ask that now. Why don't we poll staff about that? Oh, you're off. We can't hear you. You're not muted. So it's one of those mysteries. No, still can't hear you. Is there any button on your headphones, maybe?
How about now?
Yes, good.
Okay, good. Yeah, that must have been the issue, the button. I believe that's the case, but as in recent hearings, if it's all right, when the witnesses are on the stand, we'll just confirm that. I think that's in my view, at least the best way to do that.
Yeah, sure. And I've not tallied the public comments received yet. I'm not expecting a lot, but if there's more than 5, we'll do the public comment exhibit. So just maybe you don't need the clarification, but I just wanted to make sure everyone understood the. First of all, like in the last case, it's PDFs only for offered exhibits, but also I noticed some of the spreadsheets have highlights, and this is something that's come up recently where I've noticed a lot of highlights and colored text being used. And I just want to make sure it's not something substantive. If it's just for, if it's just something that was embedded in the sheet, when you go to make the PDF, just eliminate any highlights or colored text, unless it's something that, if it's something that's important, then it should be explained. So you probably want to mention that on the record as to why there's a highlight. But actually, I'd like you to do that. I'd like you to add that to the record if there's a reason for a highlight. But otherwise, just delete that. And a kind of a quirky request here is just the citation to the DU docket, because it comes up a number of times, and it just says we're gonna update according to that. But if we just add that somewhere in the record, just the citation and the IRF reference, so we can just touch base on that in this record, make sure that we know exactly what order we're talking about. And there's a lot of, it's basically like a table with all the updated depreciation rates. So, all right. So anything else about that? Okay. So I think we're good. Any witnesses that we can take by affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. If as per my email yesterday, Kate Bauer Showers is unavailable today, so the commission staff witness Tanner Blair will be available should there be any questions, but we would ask the court that Kate be allowed to verify via affidavit.
Okay, so let me just check informally any problems with that.
Not from WPL, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we will get on the record and excuse him. All right, so let's get on the record.
Judge Newmark.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Witness Singletary is also available, but if it's possible, if it's acceptable for him to verify it by affidavit, we would prefer that.
Okay, so any problems with that?
Not from WPL.
Okay. All right, anything else? All right, well, let's get on the record. Okay, so we discussed the service list, and I'll be adding Attorney Ramirez to the list. And we discussed the offered evidence list, and there's no corrections to the items on the list. We most likely will have a data request response exhibit. We'll discuss that during testimony. And the filings that appear on the list will be accepted into the record pending witness verification. Because there's no cross-examination for witnesses Singletary and Bauer Showers, I can receive those documents with an affidavit validating those filings. So at this point, I think we can move on to the witnesses. So let's have the applicant call their first witness.
Thank you. Applicant calls witness Aaron Monroe Nye.
Okay. All set. Raise your right hand. Do swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Could you please state your name for the record?
Aaron Monroe Nye.
And did you submit direct rebuttal, surrebuttal testimony, and 4 exhibits in this proceeding?
I did.
And to the best of your knowledge, is the information in your testimony and exhibits true and correct?
Yes, it is.
And do you have anything else you would like to address at this time?
Yeah, just one thing on Monroe Nye 3. I noticed that one of the headings still says 2022. It needs to be updated to 2023. So I'll do that along with the other changes indicated.
Okay.
And then with that, this witness is available for cross-examination.
All right. Any questions? No? All right. Thanks very much. You're excused.
Thanks. WPL next calls witness Ted Smith.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Ted Smith.
And did you file direct and rebuttal testimony and 2 exhibits in this proceeding?
Yes, I did.
To the best of your knowledge, is the information in your testimony and exhibits true and correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and then I have a few additional questions here to walk through. On what date did you receive staff data request to Adams 1?
Thursday, August 18th.
And on what date did you submit your response to that data request?
Monday, August 22nd.
Okay, and then, Your Honor, could you please provide for the screen the data request response JA 1.1? We're just going to walk through a couple of calculations for the record.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to have the IRF number for that?
I can pull that up quickly. One moment, Your Honor.
Thanks. And is it public?
It is.
Okay. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, the IRF number, I believe, is 445732.
Okay. So it's attachment A. Is that what we're looking for? Oh,
Yes.
Yes. That's okay. Let me just adjust the screen for this. How small we want to get. And which schedule are we looking for?
We're going to be looking at the revised Schedule 8 tab, page 1.
Did you say Schedule 8?
Yes, Schedule 8, page 1.
Okay, so am I showing that correctly then?
Yes.
Oh.
And let me ask you, so you're able to see,
If he scrolls down, just a couple more rows.
Oh, is there more? Okay, sorry. Oh, look at that. How's that?
there we go.
Perfect.
Okay. Could you please describe your data request response?
The data request response provides additional details to bring in the WPL $6 million debenture that was issued in August of 2022. And what's shown on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner calculates the revised long-term debt rate of 4.28%. It brings in the 2023 interest expense of 116.6 million, the debt amortization of debt discount of 1.1 million, and the amortized debt expense of 2.2 million, for total debt expense for 2023 of 19.9 million.
And I think you covered it in that description, but let me make sure. Do you have any further description you'd like to provide for cell G151 of this schedule? Which is for the other parties, it's listed as the long-term debt cost revised 2023, the 4.282.
The calculation for the 4.282 takes the 119 million, 0.9 million divided by the 2.8 billion to calculate the long-term debt cost for 2023.
Okay. And then next, Your Honor, could you please list or show on the screen for the parties Exhibit Smith 2?
Off the record for a second here. I tapped out my computer. Okay, if you have that on the record, hey, I just got a new computer. So. Okay, so let me adjust here. Are we looking at, is this the page we are hoping to?
I'll let the witness answer your question. Are you able to hear Mr.
If you
Smith?
want to start on page 1.
Oh, yes, schedule 1.
Yes, schedule 1, page 1.
Okay, let me just adjust this a bit. The cell numbers as well. Oh, I guess you're going to use the line numbers here. Okay, so I'm showing everything you need. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's get on the record, and if we could just identify where we're at on this exhibit.
So we're looking at Exhibit Smith 2, and my question to the witness is, could you please describe how the revised long-term debt cost that you previously identified from your data request response is used in your Exhibit Smith 2?
We're on schedule 1 at this time.
Correct. Schedule 1, page 1. In column G, the 4.28% is brought in for the long-term debt cost, which then is used to calculate the weighted cost. So
I'm
that's
sorry, excuse me, sir, I couldn't hear you. The last couple words.
The 4.28% is brought into column G from the JA 1.1. And then that is used to calculate the weighted cost in column H. And then that brings down to an adjusted weighted cost of capital of the 7.39% on row or line 11. And then if you want to go to page 2 of schedule 1, the 7.39% is brought in on line C. And then it calculates down to the return on net investment rate base on line H of 7.48%. And then going to schedule 3, should be page 3 of 3. It's the third tab. The 7.48 is brought in line D and used in the calculation to determine the new revenue deficiency on line G of the 9.264 million. So the updated debt cost increased the revenue deficiency $65,000.
And Mr. Smith, is that final result that you identified consistent with what you had indicated in your testimony?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, WPL has no more questions for Mr. Smith, then he's available for cross-examination.
Okay. And since we have you here and we were showing these exhibits on the screen, just was curious if the highlighted numbers have any significance or if that was just something that happened accidentally.
It was basically for highlighting information I wanted to ensure that I included in my testimony, but we'll file a revised copy without the highlights.
Okay. Okay. And what about the color text on page 1, schedule 1?
The same thing. All the text will be changed to the same color.
Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. So I'm going to end the display there. Oh, maybe I should.
Yeah, just
let me just push the right button here. Oh no, now what do I do? I think that's the right one. Okay. Okay, so let's now allow for cross. We'll start with Cub. No questions? All right, so you're muted, but I think I got.
Sorry, trying to shake my head, but not doing it very effectively. None from Cup.
Okay, might be the camera angle. I don't know. Okay, go ahead, Attorney Rushkowitz.
Yeah, I just have, I think, one quick question for clarity's sake. Witness Smith, could I direct your attention, please, to your Exhibit 2 on Schedule 3, and I'll give the ALJ a chance to find it. Okay. Specifically in cell L17, I was wondering if you could just provide a little bit of clarification as to what you meant in the quoted language, updated LTD cost, and then in the parentheses, 5.2 million debt issuance expense.
Yes, and that number should be changed closer to 5.1 million, but it would be the incurred.
Hang on, off the record.
Issued.
Off the record. So you guys just started to freeze up when you began to answer. So looks like you're back online. So if you could just repeat your answer, just start from the top.
Yes, on line D, that's for the updated long-term debt cost, and it's closer to 5.1 million. It's like 5,061,000 of debt issuance expense. And that is also can be captured in the exhibit 1 in the response to JA 1.1. And I can give you the row numbers.
Okay, should we switch to Smith 1, or are we back to the data request response?
The data request response.
I think I may have. Closed that up. Let's go off the record a second. Oh, I might still have it here. Hang on. Oh, yes. Good. View that. Okay. Will we need to go back to Smith exhibits, or
It's the data response request.
Yeah, okay.
JA 1.1.
gonna have to close the Smith exhibit? Oh, I can get back to that pretty easily. So that's one. Okay. Just another minute here. Okay. So now we're back to,
And if you want to go to page 2.
I got the right one here. I got the the data request response, right?
And then if you can show rows 79 and 98, I think both of those will fit on the screen.
I'm just gonna try to zoom in on that a bit. Maybe not. Well, I think hopefully people will have their own copy. That's probably not going to be able to view very well on the screen here.
And it'll be seen in column M. So you've got it.
Oh,
on the
okay.
screen.
So we got it already. All right, and then if we need to expand that, well, I mean, hopefully people asking questions have their own copy, but okay, so if we get back on the record, oh, sorry. Get back on the record and have you identify what we're looking at now.
This is the page 2 of the data request response, JA 1.1. And in column M on row 98 is 5,039,000, which is the net debt issuance expense in August of 22. And it would be 5,061,000 if you add back the amortization expense in column M on row 79. And this, when initial discussions about this debt issuance, we didn't have this information available, and then it was available when we completed the data request response.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that clarification.
Okay. Anything else, Attorney Reskowitz?
Oh, sorry.
Nothing further from me, so
Okay.
back to
All right.
redirect.
Yep. All right. Any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor, just to that earlier question. If staff is going to bring in the data request responses, then we have no need for Mr. Smith to do so. We have the interest for purposes of Mr. Smith's testimony that the Adams one and Mr. Smith's response in that JA 1.1 data request response come in. So I believe that'll be addressed if staff is bringing in all data request responses.
Yeah, we'll make sure that at least this data request response gets put in the record one way or another, but we'll see what staff wants to do with the response exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to close that out, or do you need it for Adams?
Not from WPL.
Okay. Okay, readjust here. Okay, so it looks like we have, let's see, witness Singletary will come in by affidavit. So we have all the applicant's witnesses covered, and we can move on to commission staff.
All right, commission staff calls Kyle Sachs, please.
Let's see if we can find you. Okay, I see you there. All right, raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Kyle Sachs,
And what is your position at the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin?
Public Utility Auditor.
And did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony, sir rebuttal testimony, and one exhibit in this proceeding?
Yes, I did.
And do you have any additional corrections to your testimony or exhibit at this time?
No.
If you were asked the same questions today, would you provide the same answers that you provide in your testimony?
Yes, I would.
And I just have one little clarifying matter to go over with you. So in your direct testimony, you make mention of the data request responses as a delayed exhibit. Is that correct?
Correct.
And it is your intention then to file a delayed exhibit that includes all of the commission staff data request responses into the record in this proceeding?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, thank you. This witness is available for cross.
Okay, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thanks, you're excused.
Commission staff calls Justin Adams, please.
Oh, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right.
Please state your name for the record.
Justin Adams.
And what is your position at the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin?
I am a financial analyst.
And did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony, sir rebuttal testimony, and one exhibit in this proceeding?
I did.
And do you have any additional corrections to your testimony or the exhibit at this time?
Yeah, so in my sir rebuttal testimony, I stated that there was not sufficient evidence for commission staff to corroborate the revised or the asserted long-term debt cost by Mr. Smith in his rebuttal testimony. Based on his clarification of the schedule or of his exhibit 2, schedule 3 that he provided minutes ago, I actually do agree that there is evidence to corroborate the revised 4.28% long-term debt cost.
Okay, thank you. So with that addition, if you were asked the same questions today, would you provide the same answers that you provided in your testimony?
I would.
All right, thank you very much. You heard some earlier testimony today from Witness Smith. Did you have any response to any of that testimony today?
No, beyond what I've said moments ago.
All right, thank you. The witness is available for cross.
All right, any questions?
None from the applicants, Your Honor.
Okay, none from Cobb. All right, so we can move on. Witness Barrow-Sharrows will accept that testimony by affidavit. And I was curious, though, in terms of the changes in the Smith exhibit, we'll need those. Let me see. Well, if we did so let me make sure the Smith one, did that change? Or we went through, yes, because he's going to change the million, 5 point something million was going to change. I think if we probably have him update those exhibits as 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 can be the ones we discussed on the record, but 3 and 4 can be the updated versions that the commission can rely on with corrections. Okay. So anything else? All right. Well, I think we're really pretty much wrapped up the party session here, the party part of the case here. And we can just pull the participant list in case they're members of the public and have connected. No, I do not see anyone from the public in attendance, so we won't take any public comments today, but we'll continue to leave the public comment period open. And just going to double check the date. Yeah, okay, so Friday, September 23rd, public comment period will remain open until then. And at this point, I have nothing else. Anyone need to discuss something while we're here? All right, great. And that's it. Thanks very much. Take care, and we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.